Hello baby gangsters, this is Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. This is my first ever playthrough of Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. My name is Calvin, also known as Romer. There's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered up with duct tape before he was beat up.
What did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
I love Chucky, man, and I think like she's actually like such a great addition to this game. I think that like people tend to have this really like bullshit view whenever like any girl character ever like is able to solve stuff like really well or is really intelligent and really does a lot of stuff like they start being like, oh, like how is she able to do this? How is she able to do that? But then like, you know, it's like how was Makoto able to pull stuff out the bag? He was a lucky student. Yeah, but still, how was Hajime able to pull stuff out the bag? Hajime has been like basically solving every case, you know?
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
She sides with evidence, dude. Are you in elementary school or something? We have a crush on each other, though.
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
There we go.
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds. Which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth.
Because he was gasping for air?
Struggling to open his mouth under the duct
tape. That's the most disgusting thing of all, isn't it? Like, that's what you really feel that, like, you know, I know we shouldn't be feeling for Nagito, but at the same time, he's our boy, you know? He's our boy.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so we wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
It was a very personal attack, you're right.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer? If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
It's clear, like, I don't know, to me it's like if this is the case, it's a revenge thing, right?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
We can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Sonia. Where's Sonia?
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back. Which means it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Can I take a second to just be like, this is the final bunch of kids that we have here. This is the final group. It's insane, right? It feels crazy.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect.
She does. Jesus Christ, you knows that.
Then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Even I kind of want to just push him to the ground right now.
Damn right it is.
The reason for the fire, the reason we need to clear it up first. So we have oil lighter, torture wounds, burned rope, survival knife, Monokuma panels. What?
The direct
let's hear it
cause
out.
of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
Fair enough.
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Is it what I was saying
Based
before?
on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, It could have ignited the curtain.
The Monokuma panels.
Some way?
Yeah.
Maybe they used invisible thread.
Remember we said they were like knocked over in like this
There
weird
should've been a
like
way to tip it over
domino
with sound
effect?
waves.
Or perhaps
Sounds.
opening the door caused
Yep, that's it. We agree with her on
intense
this.
wind pressure to tip over the lighter.
We agree with her on opening the door. Some kind of setup uses fire, so what could it be? Yeah, like that's fine. Let's go to
The
it.
direct cause of the oil lighter found
The killer used something lit the curtain on fire.
some kind of setup.
Did they use the oil?
They probably just based on the shape. It can stand upright while the
If they tipped over the lighter
Oh,
in
we're getting
some
close to
way,
it. I just don't know when it's happening.
it could have ignited the curtain.
I just don't know when it's happening.
some way.
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Yeah, we know what it is now.
Perhaps opening the door caused.
There you go.
I agree with that.
I agree with you. That's how I agree with people in my job as well. We should probably work out this
I also
trip
agree
before we
that
go on
opening
it.
the
I
door
agree.
is what started the fire.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
Fact.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels.
It's so crazy to me that people watch this and say that like Hajime doesn't solve anything or doesn't push the plot forward. If he just stood still and said nothing, this game would die. It would die. And I know people love Nagito a lot. But there's a clear difference between a character like the thing is Nagito wouldn't have been able to do all this. Hajime did, and I think it's because he has that like care in him. Like, I'm so glad the game started agreeing with me and like clearly spelling out who he was. Like every character's like, yeah, he was a bit of an arse, but he helped us sometimes. Like I was saying from the start, I'm so glad I was vindicated. So glad. So
A
glad.
huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels.
Can't wait
were
for all
found
those
at the crime
apologies
scene,
in the
right?
comment section. Oh wait, I banned a lot of those people. Not the ones who were being nice though. Not the ones that were being really nice. The ones who were rude about it. God.
It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
Yeah, it was like its own like little like kind of domino effect that knocked over the lighter,
The
I'd
killer
say.
probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
Which would make sense why things went up in flames, almost like it was automated.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
The exact same.
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
What did they do? Wait, we have to pick out something they did to hide the domino effect. So we wouldn't notice? The only thing I can think of is the music. The music, because we were talking about this and they made sure to point this out over and over again, so I'm gonna say the music.
I see.
Yeah. I think that was like, I thought that was just to create like
You
an
were
atmosphere,
talking
but it's
about
clearly a
the
distracting
MP3
thing as
player,
well.
right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
Inside the warehouse, it felt like even dark. Yeah, I remember this. When that darkness allowed a hymnal blare throughout the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? It was actually such a really cool song as well. Does Nagito listen to the suppressing crap? I'm not talking about the music. And as if on cue, it suddenly started.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
Heck yeah. Damn right.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those orders, Connie brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Clatter, clatter, clatter. It's not opening. It's something blocking the door. I can barely open it. I knew it was a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you to be fine? Just gotta use a little more force. But I'm gonna open it slowly. Yeah, we remember this happened. I played the game.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a
The game is
monochrome
sometimes some
panel.
people in the comment section describing what just happened in the game to me again. You see, Calvin, when she kicked down the door. It's like, yeah, I played it, but I've been waiting to say this for years as I've been typing it on Reddit. I'm taking no prisoners anymore, guys. Sorry, like, it's not happening. It's no prisoners anymore. Handing out slap downs.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
If that door was the only entrance to the warehouse, so the problem Chucky is talking about is the killer couldn't have left,
I see.
which is terrifying. Then wait, what? The killer couldn't have
panel
left.
was so close to the door that it could barely be opened. The killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Then wait, how did it?
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
But like, we would have seen them eventually,
Dude,
right?
We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Yeah.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
What do you mean?
You don't mean...
But if that's true, this murder.
Hajime? What do you mean?
Wait, are they? The person set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. Wait, what? It's the only person inside was Nagito, but he's dead. What? Because everyone else was outside. What is happening? What is happening?
my answer.
What is happening?
What if it was Nagito?
How? How? How?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
I agree.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
What?
Huh?
What?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget?
Well, I believe he'd torture himself. I believe he'd 100% do that.
Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
I wouldn't put it past him, actually.
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. As long as you understand.
Can I understand too? Am I allowed to me? Put my hand up, please. Can I understand too?
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Okay. Okay, this is the line we're going with.
Need to discuss?
Yeah, I'm kind of what?
That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
It seems impossible if you think about it, but it feels like I'm overlooking something. Huh? What do you mean? Torture wounds, burned robes, survival knife, duct tape, Monokuma plushie, panels.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but
Wait.
Tying both arms would be
No,
impossible.
he didn't have to tie both arms.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth?
Teeth.
Or if you use your front tail?
Oh, your front tail. What's that? Your
Dirty
willy?
joke! Is that a dirty joke?
If our assumption that Nagito is correct, Nagi should tie himself up too. That's okay, right? Well, then I'm thinking the burned rope
Actually tie up your own arms and
was the
legs.
one hand he had free, right?
That's obviously impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You'd have to tie the legs
You
first.
couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
I don't think
How
it
about if
would
you
be
use your
though.
teeth?
But why? It's impossible that he
Or
stabbed
if you
himself
use your
though.
front tail.
Your front tail, that's a willy.
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
I don't think that's what he's worried about. That's his biggest worry. It's this one, right?
To actually tie up your own arms and
Yeah.
legs. No,
Tie
that's
your own
wrong.
legs. Yep. Because he'd have to do it with the free hand.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms.
Yeah, one of his hands was free.
The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Can you share with me? Can we share? Knife in his right hand, the duct tape is like. Is his right sleeve not burnt?
I see.
Take a
That seems like
close
something
look
he wouldn't
at his
have
right
overlooked.
sleeve. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all.
But not the
Would
top
you
of the rope
agree?
wasn't burnt either. What? Oh, Hajime, the top of the rope isn't burnt either. The part where it's on the sleeve isn't burnt either.
A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
I don't know, man. I don't even agree with my own assumptions here. Maybe it's right.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Okay, let's go. Guys, we'll be back in 1 second, okay? Me and Akane are just gonna have a little bit of a chat.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
Go on, Sonia.
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him
What
touch me,
is
right?
happening?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito.
I love how Fuyuhiko is like, still like he went from being like the most like look at his journey from being a character who did not care at all about anyone to now being at a stage where he is like ignoring all this weird talk about paying for touching a boob. He's like, let's get on with this,
I
please.
mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it.
It was. It was.
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious.
What is happening?
Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin.
Wait, no, it's the other way around. Not only she's trying to charge me, now she wants the money back. What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
A way to stab yourself in the right hand using your right hand. It's okay. There's definitely an answer for this. What do you mean? Monogu panels, all our torture wounds, burn rope, survival knife.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
I love
If you
Fuyuhiko this
threw the knife
trial.
into the air and let the knife fall,
Okay.
could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe.
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Okay.
Propped
It's
it
Shaki's
onto
one,
what?
isn't it?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily.
Minus 15
We
seconds.
don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
Let's see. So what do we have then? He's right hand stab himself upon how we do it. So I'm guessing it's a prop up
Even
thing.
if Nagito's right hand was free,
But with what?
how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the
Blood
knife
in the
into
gutter,
the air
Monokuma panels, oil lighter,
and let the knife
torture
fall,
wounds, burn
Could he
rope.
stab his
Is
hand
that why
that
the
way?
Monokuma plushie is? Wait, hold on a second. But I don't get how that would work though, because that's the only one that makes a little bit of sense for that. Our life says Monokuma plushie was found on the floor near the fire origins point. It was a huge bloody hole in the stomach as if it was stabbed. So we're saying that it stabbed through the plushie into his hand? Okay, we could try this on Chiaki's one, I suppose.
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Honestly though, like we've been doing pretty good like this whole game.
Maybe
Like
he
I feel
caught
like
the knife somehow
when sometimes we fail, but sometimes I feel like we're
and
doing.
slammed
Oh,
his right hand.
that's
down?
it.
I agree with that.
Okay, that's the only like real explanation out of all those groups of items.
The life-size Monokuma plushie.
But I
He
don't
must
get
have
how
used
that would
to
have
prop
enough
the knife.
strength though, even to knock down onto someone's hand.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what I was
plushie's
thinking too.
stomach.
That's what I was thinking too, Chucky. Me and Chucky so
He
alike.
inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
Then how did it get there though? How did it get over there? Did he kick it?
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
Wait, so we going with that he killed himself?
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem.
It's great having someone there as well, like Fuyuhiko playing devil's advocate, because then we have like a character who's kind of like, you know, excuse me, not going totally against us, but is like on our side, trying to get to the truth. You know, that kind of way. Like he's questioning our ideas, but for the better of everyone.
The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
The voice acting is so good as well. I know I shouldn't be praising this guy because apparently some stuff happened, but
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
yeah.
Then he probably took the spear first.
Endured
He
the
endured
pain?
He stabbed the knife into his right hand.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Why cut to soda?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Okay.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by
Oh.
something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Say it one more time. I need you recorded.
Oh Jesus.
For reasons.
Oh Jesus.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out.
Yeah, I'm in the mind of that too. I'm in the mind of that too.
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear.
Because it's so big and thick. And if you got penetrated by something that thick, you wouldn't last a day. I don't know what you're saying. Jesus Christ.
It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab
It's
into
funny
your
though.
right
It's funny
hand,
stuff. It's
while
funny
your
stuff.
left hand is tied up.
I get the joke.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty.
It is.
I could
That's the
never
thing. It's
believe
torture.
that.
It's pure torture. It's horrible. Like, the only person who, yeah, like I said, who could do
believe it?
something like that is Byakuya, because he,
You just don't want to believe it, right?
Byakuya, like, is like a, like, he, remember, he desecrated someone's body in the first game, but then it's not actually Byakuya anymore, so it's, like, it was an imposter.
But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again,
He's
right?
not wrong. Oh, he's
Same
not
goes
wrong.
for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
Mamonami sassing me.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Among Us?
Of course, that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly
Oh, the music
betrayed.
is stopping and Chiaki is talking.
But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Chiaki's gonna come around with some big mess of a thing now, isn't she?
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
Just tell me.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think
Thinking
about
time.
it together. That's how we made it this
Oh,
far
she's
up
great.
till now.
She's the best. She's the best.
Everyone working together.
She's right. We made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then even now.
All right,
Let's do this. Burn drop surviving that blood in the left hand. What? Oil lighter? Wait, how many there are there? There's a lot, isn't there?
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think
There's a
this
lot.
through.
Okay, it's very touching.
When the spear stabbed Nagito,
Leave it to Kazuichi Soda.
his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
Okay.
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail. I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
Okay.
What are
True.
you saying?
True.
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
Dude, calm. It's okay. Like, here's the thing. 100% okay to, like, feel that way sensually. You know, it's just like, dude, it's clear that she's not into
How
you.
did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
Left hand.
When the spear stabbed Nagito,
Okay, no, I think I know this
his
one as well.
right hand was
Yeah.
covered by the knife, right?
Yeah, I know this one, I think, but I want to see
He
which
was
one, because,
only
like,
able to move his left hand.
But
Why
his
is there blood in his
was
left hand?
also tied up.
if it was tied up, why was there blood in
And
his
that
left hand?
rules out his left hand.
No, it doesn't. Oh, we missed it. Okay,
That's
we'll do
the
it right
case.
next
The
time. Yeah,
only
yeah,
other-
okay,
Used his-
that's what I'm
maybe
thinking.
he used his- I know guys have tails.
Because there wouldn't be
A
blood in his
blushing
left
Miss
hand.
Sonia is freaking
Again, guys, I
awesome!
want to make it clear, like, I'm not a prude when it comes to this stuff. I think it's all very natural to feel this way about other people and to like, and these jokes don't even, like, make me go, ooh, how disgusting. It's like, it's all, like, fun games. It's not really a bad thing.
How did Nagito stab himself
You know,
with a spear?
I'm trying to,
Let's work
I'm
together
just
when
trying
the
to, like,
spear
lighten up
stabbed
the
Nagito.
mood as well.
His right hand was covered by the
Hope
knife,
that makes
right?
sense.
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
My boy Fuhiko.
Then that rules out his left hand.
Oh, God. Down here? Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong, Kazuichi.
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange?
Yeah, there's no blood on the palm,
He only had blood on the lower area.
which means
of
it
his
probably
palm.
dripped around his
Beyond
fingers and
that
stuff.
point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered. That's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain, but it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our
We've been in trials for
imaginations
this is like
a bit.
fifth trial. I feel like, you know, even if like you were kind of confused about what the bloodstain and stuff like that, like I think the best way to go forward with these trials now is just to dive head in head first, because like there's so little like information that's going to be useful anyway. We might as well just go
If
for
there's
it.
blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
What was Nagito's left hand doing when the blood splattered? Gripping, yeah. There we go.
See. When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand.
Yeah, because that's why the palm is closed.
That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear.
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right, that's the
Hey,
problem.
Chiaki, what do you think?
We're gonna find out what Chiaki takes in the next one. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do.